little bit off.
I mean, you can't continue playing that series like this.
No, Granit Gaming will take a couple wins off you if you continue to play like that.
Granit Gaming, I'm actually surprised that Granit didn't punish them for this already. So Roll20 is in the lead, and given the mid game, again, like given the mid game and everything that happened up to turn 20, Roll20 should have won the game. But they just can't lollygag around that for 10 minutes.
Gotta pull the trigger.
I mean, whatever was going wrong in that game, I'm pretty sure that Quacknix was yelling at a few people after this one. And saying like, okay guys, this, like, not again. If we win a game, we win the game. And we end the game when we can end the game. Because that is an important win in the first map, but they can't continue to play like this. Great for them still. They have the lead. I'm sorry, like I'm getting a little bit carried away here, and I apologize for that. They still secure the victory, so it's great on that part. But again, I want from this series, I want to have those teams a bit more decisive, and I want them both to show that they don't want to go to the Crucible. That's what's on the line here, so play accordingly.
Well, with that being said, we are getting ready for Cursed Hall. We'll see if things will be adjusted for our teams. Granit Gaming started to pull together towards the late side on game number 1, so I'm actually a little bit optimistic about them being able to pull this series together and get a few wins in here, and maybe we go to a full 5-game series because, again, it is important for both these teams. But looking over to Roll20, we'll see if Quack did yell at his teammates a little bit here and get them on that same page.
I mean, I know, just imagine that someone got emotional.
Like, guys, we're better than this. We can do this. Let's get it together. Get that support for each other going.
They have the win. That's all that counts for now. Nobody is going to talk about this game anymore if they are able to win the series here. At the end of the day, what matters are results. So let's see if they can deliver on those. 1-0 lead for Roll20. Cursed Hollow, map number 2, and first pick goes over to their opponent. Hammer immediately banned out here. Granit definitely doesn't want to deal with that.
Abathur taken away too. Roll20 doesn't want to deal with that. No team wants to deal with the Abathur, sadly. And going over to the next ban, will you continue to take away Garrosh just to make sure that Robodoba isn't getting his power pick? And also something that we need to worry about too for Roll20, Zeratul is something that Granit Gaming is willing to pull out if it's available.
It's also, Genji made it through in the first draft, and there's a chance that he makes it through again. Yep. Zeratul banned out against Rapos.
Yep.
That leaves a lot of heroes open that we normally see banned out. I mean, Genji, for example, has seen a lot of bans against him. We still have Diablo, we have Urel, we have Deckard Cain. I mean, I guess with Roll20, Falstad is another hero that we should at least mention.
Sure, we got it last week.
We don't have Zeratul in the game, we don't have Maef in the game, so there's a chance for Falstad again.
Where we have that Falstad? We had it last week for Roll20.
Yeah, and I mean, Deckard Cain is, Dehaka is already chosen, so you have a global. So there is definitely a chance that Quack decides that they need some counter pressure on the global scale, and Falstad would fit that bill. But there's Genji also in play.
So here, Cain. Do you let Garrosh come out? Ooh, it's going to be Hanzo and Urel.
I mean, there is no ban pressure against tanks at this point.
Yeah.
Outside of Hammer. That's actually insane. That's honestly insane. 340 degrees. It's really impressive.
That is.
I mean, ducks are amazing. The duck facts, my friends. We have started with the goat facts for Urel, and I mean, we have Quack the duck.
I need a protractor. I want to see what that looks like visually, you know?
They literally have eyes in the back of their head.
40 degrees. So they see it like us, where they see vertically?
So you can't sneak up on a duck?
I bet you could.
God, I want that.
You want the ability not to be stuck up upon? Who sneaks up onto you where that's a concern? if he only had a nickel.
I have that side job as Agent 47 that I sometimes, like, that's how I make my real money.
Yeah.
That's how that works, and you would be surprised how many people are trying to kill you when you have on that work online.
Makes sense, man. The John Wick of our ages. There's that tank pressure we were talking about. Granit Gaming actually does get a ban on Diablo while they take Muradin for themselves.
Kind of has to be, with Diablo being banned and Muradin taken. You can go for Johanna, but it feels this is more so the Garrosh.
I feel like it's been more Nubarak and Garrosh for Roll20 lately.
It's actually a really good point. Nubarak slipped my mind. That would be a really good pick for them too. With Urel in the mix, I really like the idea of having a Nubarak here. Now that you have Li Ming also taken, there's nothing on the other side that can quickly get rid of a Cocoon, at least not in the current setup. So you're making a really good point there. I'm liking that. Nubarak definitely another big option for them.
So for Granit Gaming here, support-wise, Wolfjoe's been playing a lot more Malfurion lately. Malfurion is going to come out for them, but also the Thrall. So multiple melees for Granit.
Triple melee again.
Yeah.
Against Liming, Paul, Konzo. Garrosh. Garrosh over Nubarak. I would have liked the Nubarak. I thought it was a good idea from you. But
I
yeah,
still prefer Robodoba on Garrosh all day, every day.
As I said, I personally expected Garrosh to be taken, but that was also because the Nubarak slipped my mind. So with Muradin picked Diablo banned, makes a lot of sense here, and Garrosh is great. And you have Urel and Deckard K next to you. And it's a lot of melee.
Yeah.
Should get a lot of taunts out there, actually. So there's a lot of potential to throw really wrecking stuff and throwing someone in the back line and trying to get a kill out of that.
He just commands space in general. Even stepping up and not having to drop down, that combo can make your opponents back up a little bit. They may get a few more opportunities to throw out combos, and scatter arrows.
You talked about Liming played by Quacknix a bit earlier today when we saw that the last time they played, and they did really well with that. And he got so many kills. It was the Battlefield of Eternity game, if I'm not mistaken.
BOE. He played it twice at the beginning of the week. He just went off. He looked like he was dying for that first win.
Absolutely. So let's see if they're going to be a bit more decisive in game number 2 as we're heading into Cursed Hollow. Granit Gaming going up against Roll20 again. Roll20 currently in the lead. Second game, is it going to be the 2-0 lead, or is Granit Gaming going to tie the series?
Well, we're going to have to see here if Granit Gaming will be able to pull it together as we head into Cursed Hollow. On the left side, in the blue, it will be Granit Gaming. Thrall, played by Raid Boss. Minecraft on Rainer, Wolfjoe on Malfurion, Nande on Muradin, and Darkmonk to play Dahak.
And to the right side of the map, Snake Eyes or Roll20, Shat with Deckard Kane, Quadnix with Liming, Chris therefore on Hanzo, Robodoba and Garrosh and Zarmini on Urel. I'm liking the setup for Granit Gaming a bit more so than what we saw in the first game. I mean, I talked in game number 1 in the draft a lot that the Leoric pick in particular wasn't really too great in my eyes, just simply because the Entomb didn't find a lot of value until level 20, and we had a lot of tools of Roll20 to deal with that. Right now, though, the Dehaka for Darkmonk has shown some promise already in the recent past. It offers the global control of the map as well, to control experience in particular. And you have with Raid Boss and also Nanda a really strong front line. It's going to be difficult to break through for Roll20, but they have the range poke that is needed to deal with that. And of course, a lot of control through Garrosh taunts, throws, and Urel pushback.
It hurts me that you betrayed Leo so much, man. He used to be your boy, and now you just frown upon him.
Okay, here's the big difference. I love certain heroes, but I can acknowledge if they don't fit into comps. I'm still a huge Vala fanboy, but I can accept that right now in the meta, she just doesn't really have a place or fits into so very few compositions that she's basically non-existent outside of real niche scenarios. That's the difference here.
It still hurts, you know?
No, it's just...
What if one day
It's accepting reality.
What if one day I wasn't a meta caster for you anymore? You know?
If you went what?
If I wasn't a meta pick for you when it comes to co-casting. Like, what if you had to pick somebody else? Would you just do it in a heartbeat?
That's just crazy talk.
Okay. Just wanted to double check. That makes me feel
That is so absurd, I don't even know how to respond to that.
Thanks, man. All right. Giants grabbed early here for Roll20. Getting that pushed in the bottom. Gonna have the Giants at the top here for Thrall as he's starting to set it up for Dahaka. Granit Gaming can play that global game.
Actually, in hindsight, I really regret that I didn't say anything like, I would drop you in a heartbeat, just to see the reaction.
You wouldn't be able to drop me. I would leave. I would leave first. Gotta get that first word in, man. Knockback.
That was also what it's about the last word. Be that as it may,
look at bottom.
In this game, it's actually about the last kill, and in the bot lane, we could see that happening because Wolfjoe is in trouble. Roba wants the kill, and they get it, and they want 2. The counter kill, though, Memecraft is, I might go down here, but I'm still taking one with me. And as it happens, he even walks away. So it's
cool,
great.
Guys, don't look at explosions, man. Memecraft just turned around, got that auto attack, and skedaddled out of there. A 1-for-1 trade. Robodoe with it. Again, though, like...
Yeah. There's players, you know, that look for an escape path. And then there's players that just look for the next kill. We now know what Memecraft is. He looks for both.
He farms heroes, not experience.
Yeah.
I know that good, man.
Isn't that the same? Didn't that statement make no sense?
He farms heroes?
But not experience?
Yeah, like they're minions.
I mean, he still gets experience for killing heroes, so I'm fine with that.
It's like nothing, dude. It's like, what, 3 minions? That's what a kill is worth in the early game. It's like nothing. Memecraft! Trying to get this channel here. Scroll connects with him.
Yeah. Thrall is actually starting to rotate down. Throwing your else locked down in the mid lane. I mean, we have seen this a lot on Cursed Hollow, that the first tribute is actually delayed a lot by both of the teams, that they're not really too worried about getting it early. It helps you also to push the second tribute back towards level 10 a lot more.
Storm rolled out. Wolfjo going for the channel. Quick should be able to get this away. Yeah,
yep.
Sonic Arrow, Shad, delay.
But I just said, by the way, might seem like a small thing to you guys, but if you have been following heroes for a long time, you remember the times when on Cursed Hollow the third tribute was always the one that would be happening around level 10. And that's what teams were aiming for. Right now, you push back the second tribute so much that the second one is around level 10. So there's very few times will you have a scenario in which the third tribute that can lead to a curse will happen around heroic abilities, because that's where a lot of the early game snowball potential also came from when it comes to the map, where you could give up two tributes, for example, by getting more experience, and then you get a secure third tribute on the map by having the earlier heroic ability. So this tendency that we're now seeing of pushing the first tribute so far back through interrupts that we have in the current meta with the heroes that are played in it really allows for a bit of a different approach towards the early game.
And usually you have a small breaking point where somebody will blow their lane experience that they're attempting to grab and just go ahead and come in for a rotation. And we just saw that actually with Zarmni as Urael came in.
And you can actually use that for your own games a little bit too. I mean, look at Roll20. They never really move towards the tribute. They don't even try to take it. They're just sitting there saying like, yeah, we don't care about the tribute, about taking it at this point. We're just going to try and delay it as much as we can. Not once have you seen Robadoba step forward and try and go and channel the tribute. Not once. Up to this point, all that they did was anchor the bush so that no one can wait for them and trap Chris or Shad, and Chris and Shad just interrupt the entire time. Now it's a little bit different. They're starting to rotate Urael down, but that was the play the entire time. You don't always have to go immediately for the tribute. You can really just stall it out. Memecraft rooted. Robadoba comes in and gets stopped, but barely. Good job here by Memecraft again, just getting the last shot here out, puncturing around, making sure that Robadoba couldn't engage and flip him back into the team. But he nearly fell anyways.
Yeah, Chris made sure to work in those scatter arrows. Got a big chunk there too, right up that wall. He will tap though, be just fine. And we actually might get to a level 10 before we have a tribute grabbed.
Yeah.
9 hitting for both of our teams.
And they are pushing it back really, really far. We're nearly 6 minutes in, but finally Wolfjo gets it. And that's mainly because Nande, in this case, actually stepped forward and made sure that Shad and Chris can't get close enough to stop anything. But this is the first tribute take in 9.5 minutes, 6 minutes into the game and 9.5 in terms of the levels. But yeah, level 10 is going to come into play around tribute number 2.
And now they can play the game based on how the map unfolds for your opponent.
And also about the teamfight potential after level 10, of course.
Yep, you're right. They'll be able to finally force that engagement. I was actually surprised that we didn't see Darkmok ever actually go for a full brush stock to the bottom lane. I was expecting that at some point, but never pulled forward. Li Ming just keeps me in that lane there. Finally 10 connects, and Nande scouts out. The Bruiser can't be grabbed.
Yeah, you can't do anything alone. I mean, we have seen crazy stuff in the past where a team walks away because they're just so scared and the one single hero just takes the camp. That has happened a few times on the international stage in particular with Hong Kono on the Korean side, but over here there's just like absolutely no fear. You know that your team can rotate in for you. You have some vision on your opponent as well, so there's absolutely no concerns in that regard. But now we have the 2 Knight camps starting to push in, the Bruiser camps here, as we see the level 10. And both of the teams starting to angle for that play, with Yahaka also moving in now here at the bottom. Quacknick's barely dodging it, the arrow comes out there, going again for Malfurion. Goodbye, Wolfjo. Nice knowing you. Darkmok is trying to make the play for Li Ming, and he might get that kill, but before that happens, we're seeing the kill against Reina. Hanzo dies 3 kills, a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Roll20.
They're also going to go to the middle lane to start clearing that out, and then give up this tribute. They already have 1, but that catch on Wolfjo completely shut down any attempt for Granit Gaming.
I mean, it brings us back to the garage plays on the side of Robadoba, right? The taunt was absolutely perfect, and getting that set up in the first place, great job here by them, and works out. Li Ming again in trouble. Quacknick has been targeted by Darkmok quite a bit in these fights, but so far stayed alive. But I want to see how Granit Gaming deals with Robadoba. Right now it really feels that Roba is still again in that spot where on Garrosh he's just a different player.
I mean, game 1, they banned out the Garrosh. Ooh. Roll20 collapses on the bottom lane.
Was there a Haka?
There was a Dahaka.
Really?
Believe it or not, now it's extinct. Poor dinosaur, man. As Roll20 begins to rotate. I was wondering if they might actually make a play for a boss here with Chris being on the scatter out build, but with the tribute being far the top left,
yeah,
just gonna commit to that instead.
It is only the second one here, and everybody is already waiting. Robodoba is just like looking for any kind of catch that he can get here. The interrupt potential for Roll20 is fantastic. It's not only Deckard, Kane, and Hanzo. Now you have Li Ming in the mix too. Arrow comes through, and Thrall is hit hard. But they have no real follow-up, or do they? Zamani is trying to pressure raid boss, but they cannot get a kill here. Nice attempt, though.
But why Thrall? You had Malfurion and Raynor at the top left. And you had Robodoba near, he could have followed it up. Thrall was near his turrets, and the only one they can put in there is Yrel. And Yrel, while she is scary in lane, isn't the best damage dealer.
Yeah, they needed more damage for that. But they're actually going for Nanda now, and he got interrupted by Li Ming here. Great move with the Wave of Force. Now the Lonado comes in. Moving away for now. The Tranquility has been used too, so the Stain is out. Darkmok with the drag against Li Ming, and that's the game changer. Quatnix goes down. Darkmok with the play, the follow-up through Murden, and all of a sudden Roll20 is on the back foot.
Zarmani. Gonna be the next one too. Even popping the Ardent Defender may have actually thought about just not allowing that to go off there. Oh, he goes for the jump, but it was a little too far.
Yep, and that's 2 kills. I thought he would be able to get out after all of the damage was soaked up here through the Ardent Defender, and he started to jump. I really thought he would be able to escape here, but nope, far from it. Jumped short, and now we are having a 3 versus a 5, even a talent disadvantage. Oh boy, Roll20. Playing a risky game here.
Yep, getting rolled over. There goes the boss. It's actually 4-4 in kills, but the big difference is that Granit Gaming is finding kills around the objective. This boss being grabbed, they have that pushing, and they grab the second tribute.
Yeah, they get the tribute right now, and then they can make the play for the second boss at the bottom of the map. Now, to be fair, Roll20 is going to be able to defend against us. It's going to be annoying. They will be slightly behind, but they have the level 13 talent. They defend the top fort. They can rotate down, defend the bot lane afterwards. Against the arrow missing here, but Darkmok might actually still fall in. Yeah, he's very likely to die. Darkmok goes down. That's a great pickup here for Roll20. Came a little bit out of nowhere.
Especially with the boss beat up there, yeah. Darkmok getting picked on a little bit. 2 deaths now for him in this game. Roll20 keeps jumping on him. Oh,
I like what Granit Gaming is doing. They have full control, and they're trying to delay this, so they hope that the tribute is going to spawn and that they can take the boss and then force Roll20 to either commit to the tribute or the boss, but so they can't really defend before that happens. That's a pretty cool move by them.
Only issue is that Darkmok uses Essence in the top lane, so him burrowing in can't be too much of a wide flank because he can get blown up. But yep, they set up for the objectives here. Darkmok comes to the bottom, finds some Essence there, so that should be alright. And now it's time for the 3rd tribute of the game.
I mean, the turrets are still there on the wall, so they are going to fight for this one instead. Drag is in, but only against Zarmani. They're not going to be too sad about that. The silence connects too, simply moving away from it. But the fight is still continuing in the backline, and they are isolated now. There is no one to protect them. Robodoba and Zarmani just, like, Robot just walked down to help out Zarmani Yrel, who was basically fine, and that means that the entire backline was open. There was no tank to defend anyone here, and that's a curse and a boss now.
And Granit Gaming just steps up. They know they can go for the keep. They have a good 15 seconds before they have 2 more members come in for Roll20. They can take on this wall.
Robotor was trying to resist Yrel, but in doing so, he just moved away from his backline, and he left the entire squishy side open to the rest of the aggression that we saw from Granit Gaming. Yrel was fine. Ardent Defender is still there. And now we're having a massive push happening because that's likely going... Robodoba is also going to blow up. And here comes the Tranquility. That's a boss, that's a curse, and that is an easy keep. My only question is, can they actually go for a core? That's a 2-level lead right now.
Yeah. They took him down 3 here. This boss is still fully alive. There is a big minion wave stack coming in from behind at the same time.
That's game.
Yeah, they just pushing for the score here. They got a Raynor. You protect him, he'll just shell away. And there it is. The core is going to be the focus. Here's the boss to help out. Roll20 is going to have the series tied up as Granit Gaming finds a couple of kills, finds a couple of picks, and starts to take the late game into their own hands. Wow.
Another kill there, and that's 10 kills against 5. GG. Well played. Granit Gaming completely shutting them down. But I mean, let's be fair here. That game ending came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yes, you lose the second boss. I mean, first boss, top lane, you defend, you get even a kill against the Haka. That's a nice bonus that you didn't expect. Then the second boss, okay, you realize what's happening. But that miscommunication again, or nerves, or whatever the problem here is, on the side of them was an issue. If Roba-Doba doesn't move down with Zarmany on Urel, then they have still a 4-man that can defend against the 4-man on the side of Granit Gaming, and Urel can simply jump over once that she's back. I mean, she moved back. There's a fountain. She can tap out the fountain. There's no way for the Haga to kill her. So, but Roba-Doba peeling back down leaves the entire backside open. They engage, get 2 kills, and all of a sudden it's boss curse. A few more kills after that, and that's game. I can't shake the feeling that Roll20 is nervous because there's so much on the line that they feel pressured. That was already evident in game number 1, and I think you just saw it there too. Because around that the last tribute and the second boss, they had an experience. Even with the boss taken at the top lane and defended against, they were still ahead in experience.